Hello, my superstars. Welcome back to another segment of Wind Down Wednesday. As you can tell with the title of this video, today we are talking about feeling left behind in your 30s, not having your ducks in a row, no husband, no house, and no millions. As we do it every single Wednesday, we're going to crack open our favorite bottle of wine. Today we are drinking the La Ferie de Paris. Don't know if I pronounced it correctly, but it doesn't matter. Open up your favorite bottle of wine, sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Okay, let's be real. So Delulu is the Sululu, right? That's what we like to say when we're manifesting, but not when it comes to relationships, right? In no way are we going to be delusional about man-child. There's no way that at our grown age are we going to be delusional about marriage. We're not doing that. Not at all. We are keeping it real. We are keeping it a buck. So we can make sense of the way that we think, we're going to take it all the way to the beginning. So as little girls, we are conditioned to have baby dolls. Have you noticed how a little girl, I'm talking about a baby in diapers, being given a baby doll? So what is the purpose? It's the conditioning that you need to desire to be a mom from a small age. When you're two, you don't even know yourself. Okay, then after that, everything that we watch, especially romantic movies, it tells us that the woman's life is not complete until she has a male counterpart. That is always the plot when it comes to romantic comedies. So we grow up believing that, okay, in order for me to be fulfilled as a woman, I need to be a mother and I need to be married. Okay, fair. Some of us are not even conditioned by this, but we generally want to be mothers and we genuinely want to be married. Where is the disconnect? The disconnect now comes in because society does not teach the male child the same thing. Let me cook. Think about the dating pool right now. How many people that you know that are currently in the dating pool that are men that are there generally dating to seek out and court and find their wives? Not that many. Absolutely not that many. Most men, even men my age, even men in their early 30s, my age, they are out here to explore, to have fun, to access as many women as possible with no consequence. Now, what does that do? That shrinks the dating pool. So when you come out of there and you are looking for someone who is genuine and wants to build a legacy with you, your chances are much smaller. There's not a lot of men that think like that, but this is a good thing. Stay with me. The reason why this is a good thing, you don't want a lot of men to want to be your partner. You just want one man. You want one man who's about structure, stewardship when it comes to finances, a leader, protector, a provider, a man who really wants to pour into you, love you, and build a life with you. That's the kind of man you want. Period. And you are more than willing to reciprocate the same energy and be there for your husband. You want to be a nurturer, you want to be a homemaker, and you definitely want to be a multiplier of the assets. Because if that is really what all the girls that I know, all the women that I know want to do, those are the desires and those are what they want to bring, qualities that they want to bring within marriage. Now here's the gag. This is what makes everything so darn difficult, is the fact that society is patriarchy driven and it's all about men and let boys be boys. A lot of men don't want to provide for women. A lot of men do not want to protect. A lot of men do not want to lead. A lot of men don't even like women. A lot of men don't even like women. They like having sexual encounters with women, but they do not like women. What do I mean by this? Think about how men are so loyal and they are so good to their boys and they've been with the same group of guys for lots of years. They come together, they do businesses, they plan, they strategize how to make money. They protect their boys, they lie, they cover up, they do anything necessary for their friends. And this man describes himself as a heterosexual man. Now, stay with me. I'm not saying brotherhood is wrong. It's not. It's completely normal. But what I am saying is, when you get to a specific age, and when I mean by specific age, I mean you are older than 25, your frontal lobe is fully developed, and you still want to date and put your boys ahead of your women, I think you do not like women. You like boys. And that's okay. And that's okay. Men, a lot of men, heterosexual men, need to be honest. They need to be honest about that. So now that we've gotten a grip of what's currently happening, majority, not all the time, most men are not really in the liking woman era. Let's talk about the 90s men. The 90s men, in terms of an archetype, not all of them, there are a lot of 90s bum men. Like the 90s fine men, we're talking about the Maurice Chestnuts, that league of men. They were men in media. They were focused on having a career, having principles, and treating their woman right. And it was done so in a way that even the propaganda in media was about that. The propaganda now in media, it's this red pill community, these men talking about how, oh, I'm the alpha, I'm this, I'm that. But then again, in the same breath, you're the alpha, but you don't want to provide, you don't want to protect. That's very beta energy. Very, very beta energy. You don't want to protect for your family. You don't want to provide for your girl. So how is a woman supposed to birth children for you if you are not willing to provide for her? If you're not providing for her as your girl, as an adult who can go out there and take care of herself, remember, you providing for a woman is courtship, is you showing her that should you get pregnant, I got you and I will be. So you as my man, now that it's still fun and no heavy responsibilities, you don't want to provide. Yet I'm supposed to push a baby out for you. This is the reason why I'm not married. Mic drop. That is the sole reason that I am not. I am not going to be out and about and auditioning my worth to men. I am not going to be in the dating pool teaching men how to be men. I am not. As you can see, I am a feminine woman, and not in a performative way. No, I am soft, yet I am strong. Do you understand? I am in my Proverbs 31 woman. I work hard. I get my gold from afar. I left my home country to build a career, to make sure that I can take care of myself, my mother, and my child. That is femininity at its best. Okay, I multiply what I have. I grow what I have. I share what I have. I nurture my family. I am very nurturing even towards my friends. I'm nurturing towards myself. And when a man steps into my life, I am nurturing towards him. That is femininity. Femininity is strength. Femininity is self-sufficient. Femininity is multiplication of what you were given. Right? That's divine femininity. Now, a lot of men are not in their divine masculinity. And this is why, for a woman who is willing to work on themselves, who's willing to heal, who's willing to learn, who has a teachable spirit, you will not settle. You will not settle. That's why you're in your 30s and you are not married. You will not settle. And I'm talking to the women that are deliberate and go into the dating pool with the intentions of dating to marry. I'm not talking about the ladies that are still finding themselves. Nothing wrong with that, but lead with that. It goes back now to the men and how society is, built to make men win. And then my thing is, if this is a patriotic society, why are you out here losing as a man? Why are you out here needing my help, my money, my resources, and my body in order for you to feel whole. Yet this society, this game of life is rigged for you to win. And another thing where I need to hold everybody's hand when I say this, society pushes women into marriage young. Society pushes women into being mothers quickly. When I mean quickly, I mean as soon as you are in your 20s, you pass the age of 21, you have a career, let's say mid-20s, 25, then it comes to a point where you are looked at of, are you in a serious relationship? Are you dating anybody? Do you want to get married? When are you going to get married? You and John have been dating for 5 years. When is he going to marry you? When? And the pressure is solely on women. Society expects you to be a wife, especially when you're a woman that has a good head on her shoulders. You carry yourself well and you focus and you have a growth mindset. You are expected to be a wife. But my thing is, here is the double standard, is that men are not rushed into marriage. They're not expected to be husband by the age of 25. And if he does become a husband, he's applauded. Oh, wow, you married so young. Oh my gosh, you're a good guy. You this. The girl who's he's even proposing to is not even looked at as the same way. It's like, oh, it's expected for you to marry. Of course you're going to marry. That's what you want. Most women don't want marriage, especially nowadays. Most women don't want to marry because of the dating pool and because of how men refuse to be men nowadays, because of how a lot of men don't want to take the responsibility of being providers and being leaders and actually being the head of the household and paying the bills, making sure your wife is set. They don't want that. But they want a woman who's going to be feminine, who's going to be cooking, who's going to be cleaning, who's going to be taking care of the kids and paying all the bills. It never works. A woman cannot be in her feminine if she is in survival. And a lot of men are in survival mode, but they want to be treated like kings. Grow the fuck up. Woo, I said that with bass. I'm sorry, but grow up. Grow up. Grow up. Women are not here to be your mothers. They are not here to mother you, especially your wife. She's not here to be your mother. She's here to be your partner. If she's going to be staying at home and raising the kids, you're going to be out there making the money. If you don't want her to be staying home raising the kids, and you want her to go make money with you, you better be able to pay for the nanny. And this is just logic. It's not even ways of a woman trying to manipulate men into no. First of all, the woman being pregnant in jail, it's 100% on the woman. The man just inserts the semen and he's done. His body does not change. He doesn't almost die in the labor room. He doesn't have to deal with stretch marks. He doesn't have to deal with postpartum. He doesn't have to deal with the stress, sagging boobs. None of that. You know, he doesn't have to almost die pushing the baby out. Let's be real, guys. People die in labor. They die. It's that serious. It's that serious. Yet you have men out here who want you to give them their offspring. You almost die in that labor room. That's how painful it is. Google it, scientifically speaking. It is that dangerous. But you don't want to pay for the nanny? You don't want me to sit there, recover, be soft, do nothing so I can heal? You still want me to cook, clean, and shag you? Even when the doctor says I cannot? You want me to take care of the baby and you do nothing? You want to go play with PS4 like a child? Or run around with the boys and go out and... I must get up 4 a.m. in the morning? Now you... And go soothe our crying child. You can hear the baby. But you're going to turn around and sleep. This is a lot of reality for a lot of married women, a lot of married women's reality. And it's not something to ridicule or make fun of. No, it's something that makes marriage not that attractive to non-married women, especially when you out here in your bag and doing whatever you want. You're like, yo, I have to sacrifice this for that, and there is no guarantee that this man is not going to switch up on me. So this goes back to the topic before this. Well, same topic, but the point that I made before this is that he has to be high value, not just high earning, because a man can throw money at you and still never be there for his children. Now what? But that's better than having a Pookie and a Ray Ray who cannot even throw money at the solutions. Because hey, if a man is throwing money at it, at least we can get a nanny. Stay-at-home nanny. When the baby is crying, the nanny will help you raise the child. You take the money, you soothe yourself, you go on a yacht, you shake your ass with your friends, your babysitter's taking care of your child. The same money, you use it to grow yourself. At least there's a room around that. That's why it's so important. So important. And I'm speaking for experience. I'm not speaking from a place of judgment. My baby daddy is a bum. Not in a sense of he's not doing anything for himself. I know he's doing something for himself. The manager's got a car. He's doing jack shit for his child. That's a bum. That's a deadbeat. Period. I do everything by myself with the help of my mother. Now, so I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. And the thing is, no matter your past, you can always choose different. And what that man taught me, my child sperm donor, what he taught me was that have your standards here. And I met him when I was 19. My frontal lobe was not fully developed, so that's an excuse. I was a kid myself. But I've taken full accountability for that. And I will never, ever, ever find myself in that situation. Not in this life, not in the next life. Because I walk away. With that being said, there are good men out there. There are people that are in happy marriages. And especially if you're a woman that aspires to be married, there are like high earning men that take care of their families, take care of their wives. They love their wives. Their wives also have careers of their own, and they have a beautiful modern love story. And I know that that is what I desire, and that's how it looks like. So it's okay to wait up until it comes. It's okay. What I will not be doing though is entertaining something that I do not want for the sake of just being chosen, for the sake of just being with somebody, for the sake of optics, and for the sake of, oh, but I'm married, oh, but I'm a wife now. No, I take being a wife very, very seriously. I have to check my mic because I lost footage. Very, very seriously, because I want to do it once and I want to do it right. And you need to also look at this in a sense of it is a blessing. It is a blessing that you are not married right now. It is a good thing that you're a single woman right now. That means that you need to work on you. You need to work on you and be the best version of yourself for you. Not for the man. Not for the man, okay? For you. Be the best you can be for you. Focus on how to make you proud. Because when marriage comes in, it's now going to be no longer about you. It's going to be about the unity. Everything you do is going to be about the benefit of the both of you together. Now, as you single, it's still your time for you to be so as selfish as you need to be. And when you have a boyfriend, you're single, by the way. When you have a girlfriend, you're single. If you're not married, you are single. It doesn't matter the the sexuality. Even if ulanduka you gay or straight, if you guys are not legally binded. Now that we are done about talking about umjolo, let's talk about a house. Okay, so no house in your 30s. This is a good place to be. Contrary to popular belief, you're in your 30s, you are fully mature, you probably are earning better than you were in your 20s, and you have more qualifications, right? You probably have a chance to clean up your credit score if you had messed it up before, and now you have more financial discipline. And I'm talking to the single girlies. If you're married, this is not necessarily a message to you. Or if you are married and you want to buy a house by yourself outside of you buying it with your husband, it still can be. If you're married actually out of community of property, then it does apply to you. So what I've been doing is that I have friends that have houses and are single. Now these are the things you flex about. Tell me. I clap for those people. They're doing amazing. So anyway, so the first thing you do is that you ask your friends that you know that have homes, that are homeowners. You ask them, what is the process? Now this is you training your mind to do the research. I ask my friends, what is the process? How did you do it? And then they tell me. First things first, make sure that your credit is good. Make sure you are in good standing with the credit bureau. And make sure that you have enough money coming into your account so that you can be attractive, either for a home loan or either for a personal loan. Yes, a personal loan can buy you a house. I learned that recently. So those two things. So within South Africa, last time I checked, if you have 20,000 coming into your bank account a month, you can qualify for a bond when you have good credit. And I think it is the same when it comes to a personal loan. I'm not giving you half information because I do not know that yet. Now, do you have a credit card? If you do not have it, it is okay. If you have a savings account right now, please, if you have a chance, go ahead and turn your savings account into a checking account. My friend Emma taught me this. She told me that, listen, do you have a checking account or a saving account? And I said, I had a saving account. I used to have a check account and I changed it because, you pay that 100 and something and a savings account is hella cheap. Anybody can afford it. And she was like, actually, when you come back to SA, change your account back into a check account. That 100 and something that you are paying FNB or whatever bank that you would, it actually helps you. And she's right, because when you're in a checking account, you are allowed to actually go on overdraft. And that acts as a credit, right? That credit or that minus is money that the bank is in good standing with because they know you're going to pay it. It's not like a negative in a sense of it's a bad standing on your credit score, but ibala negative in a sense of you have a checking account, ubanela grace period where that does not reflect bad on your name. And then when your salary, your earnings come, they take what they need to take and it's like nothing happened. So that what helps with the checking account, and also it kind of gives you a point with credit in a way. Or you can open an account. Actually, you have to open an account. Open an account back home. For people who are overseas, or for people who here in America have an account, have a credit card. Here in the States, I have a credit card. I'm very, very much disciplined with the credit card that I have here. My credit card is with my bank, and my credit score here in America is in good standing. It's on 700 and something. It's on good. It's on good. It's not on very. No, I'm lying. It's on very good because I'm in 760 something points. So excellent. It's on 800. When it reaches 800, I'm going to be an excellent. So that is the goal. So that can show you already the financial discipline that you need, right? So back home, like I don't like hijala. So back home, I need to do the same thing. When I go home to reset, I need to do the same thing. make sure that I have a good credit score. So I would suggest, my friend and I were discussing this, you need friends like this in your life, by the way. People need to do. It's not always about going out, alcohol, and men, and talk about things that move your life forward. So my friend and I, we were discussing this, and then she was like, you need a credit card. If you don't want one with your bank, it's okay, but open an account, any account. And then she told me how she has one with Woolworths, and I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? The one with Woolworths makes sense because, you know, Woolworths, they have things, especially as a mom, they have things for school. For my child, they can just take things off the account, and they also have Woolworths food. Very, very useful. Like in between the months, when you need to replenish the refrigerator before having the next money or whatever. But it's a very useful account to have. Unlike the other retailers that do not sell groceries like Woolies does, right? So I told her that. I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I'll probably just open a Woolies account then, because that makes sense. And then that can act as a credit score. Moving on. So when the credit score is starting to make sense, then you can start to see what you qualify for. She told me about ClearScore, which I'm already on. ClearScore is this platform that you can use also in South Africa, because I've learned of it in South Africa, where you can check your credit record. Check your credit record, know where you stand, so that you'll be able to know what you qualify for. Okay, make sure that you grow that credit so that you can accumulate your assets. So ClearScore helps you with that. It helps you grow your credit score. It tracks it. It tells you, okay, right now you are on this, and this is how you're going to get on this. Here in America, Bank of America shows me my credit score on the app, and I think F&B does it too, but I don't know how to use my banking app to see it. I think they do it too, but I'll find out, right? And something that I've always known is that you need to have a life. Well, this does not disqualify you from buying a house, but this is financial literacy and adulthood. Get life insurance. Don't be afraid of life insurance. Get life insurance and make your parent, the loving parent, that one was there with you through and through, make your parent your beneficiary. Make your parent your beneficiary, so that you don't have to worry about someone killing you and trying to cash out your money. I know that F&B has one. I was on it, but then there was a time while I wasn't working, it lapsed. There was one that is worth 1.5 million in the event of your death. They do it without any medical procedures. Obviously, when you answer the health questions, please be honest. I don't smoke. Yes, I do drink. I don't smoke hookah. I don't smoke cigarettes. They ask you questions like that. They don't ask you about HIV status or anything like that either. So have that, and it wasn't a lot of money, like 300 to 400 you pay per month, and you are covered for millions of rands. It's a win-win. But when I go back home, actually, I want to get the Asupol one. The reason why I want to get the Asupol one is because the one with Asupol is actually really, really, really good. Yes, we're talking about policies because we're grown women. The one Ega Asupol is that it covers you for a lot of things. Never mind the accidental and this and this and this and this of this policy, but it actually also covers you for indlu yakho. When let's say you pass on and you have a bond, and then they're gonna pay more imaletile, an X amount of money as opposed gonna pay, and then let's say your bond you owe 500,000. Asopol pays the remainder of your house, so they don't actually get to seize your house, ibanki, and all of those people that you've owed, that you don't get to lose your assets. So that's a nice thing about that one, and that's the one that I want. Is they actually, in the event of your death, they actually pay for the remainder of indlu yakho. So yes, get with Asopol. This is not an ad, as you can tell. Get with Asopol. Find out what you need to find out. But yeah, they do that. And then I also recently found out that you can also get a personal loan for you to buy a house. And the good thing about this is that if you get a personal loan to buy a house, you don't owe the bank. So even if you are in arrears, God forbid, they cannot come for the house. They cannot come for the, it's a personal loan. They cannot come for the house, but they'll come for you. They'll send lawyers. They'll ruin your credit record. You don't want that. You want to pay. We always want to pay our bills, okay? But yeah, personal loan, it doesn't give you this contract with the bank with ridiculous interest rates. You don't have to, you are going to get interest rate because of course, but it's not going to be as crazy as a bond, because a bond is always over 20 years or 25 years, etc. So a personal loan is kind of different. And here's the trick: always overpay. Every time you have debt, always overpay. When you overpay, you are avoiding interest rates going up. You're avoiding the interest rates, and you're avoiding paying the duality of your debt. For example, let's say you bought a house, they gave you money, R1,000,000 to buy the house, and you you got money from the bank to pay, right? So now, after 25 years, you're paying 2 million for this one house, but the bank only gave you 1 million. You're paying twice as much. So now, in order for you to minimize the total that you gave back to the bank, because in order for them to make profit, there is interest, right? So to minimize paying them too much money, you overpay. If, let's say, and I'm going to give this mathematics vibes. Let's say your bond is, you have to pay 5,000 rands a month. Pay 10,000 a month. Especially when you see that you've got money, good money coming in. If you can put in 20K into your bond, 30, 40, 50, stack it up, pay as much as you can. And if there comes a time in your life things are slowing down financially and you can only go back to the 5K, it's okay. It's not a bad financial behavior in terms of your credit score when you pay what is expected, the minimum, but always exceed the minimum. That is also very good on your credit score. And a house is always healthy debt when you pay in time, because it's under your name. It is an asset. It is increasing your net worth. Okay, so we found out about that. And then the other thing is, when you paying a house, you need to be aware of, because I was a paralegal in South Africa, and then I did the conveyancing course as a paralegal. I knew it before then, because I went to this workshop in back home of conveyancing. Conveyancing is basically property law. So I was sitting with these conveyancers and the real estate agents. They had this business thing. It was a private law firm, and I went there to network. So anyway, that was before I came here in America. So anyway, so with that being said, they were talking about conveyancing fees, right? They were talking about conveyancing fees and how it's calculated. So conveyancing fees is basically a transfer fee. A transfer fee means that having the title deed under Indira, now Indira is selling the house to Yolisa, and now Yolisa paid Indira her money, but now she has lawyers involved, and the deeds office, and Umaspala, and all of these other people, municipality for those who don't speak Xhosa, all these other entities that are knowing that the house belongs to me. So conveyancing is now transfer fees, where we transfer the title deed from Indira to Yolisa. So you pay the attorney, and the attorney distributes the money where it needs to go. It will go where it needs to go. Municipality, deeds office. Deed office doesn't really take much money from people because it's a government institute. I need in deeds office, but yeah. So all of that money goes to the red tape, the paperwork. Now here's the gag. I don't have the figures anymore, but I had them back home when I went to this networking conveyancing event. So each and every house has a conveyancing fee attached to it. in a sense of, if your house is worth 2 million, I think, yeah, I don't have the figures now, I can be inaccurate, but I think it's like 2%, but it's a percentage of your house's value. So if Indlu, it's 2 million rands, don't only have 2 million rands to buy it. Make sure you have money for the conveyancing fees. But there's another way to skip the red tape, because other people's houses, itibana, no transfer fees. Buy that one, especially if it's the house where it's in the area you want it in, rather. That means there's no conveyancer attached to it, no attorney you have to pay. You don't have to pay legal fees where the transfers and whatever. Title deed yako as soon as upate. The title deed is under your name as soon as the money goes through. Everybody who's involved, the real estate gets the money, the homeowner gets the money, they get their cut, the money reflects, you sign your title deed, you have your name under it, then everything is Bob's your uncle, you in homeowner association. So if you can find a house that says no transfer fees, even better. And then there's another loophole you can look at, and then those are houses that are on auction. Houses that are on auction are usually cheaper. So look at houses that are on auction. If there's a house that's on auction in an area that you want to purchase at, please make sure when you purchase in an area that you know it won't depreciate. I'm not going to advertise you buying Indlu Elokshini, because I wouldn't do it. So I'm not going to advise you to buy a house in an area where I wouldn't buy a house at. Don't buy a house in the hood, because your house is more likely to depreciate. Buy your house in a safe area. It does not necessarily have to be the deep suburbs, but at least in a modest area where you know it's entry-level burbs, where you know it's going to appreciate, so you get a return on your investment. That's what you want. You want to buy a house where at the end of the day you're getting a return in your investment. Okay, so we spoke about auction. And then the next thing you need to also think about, okay, auctions, that's done. You also if you're going to buy a house from the bank, make sure it's non-occupant. The bank has a tendency of selling houses that have people in there that were supposed to be kicked out 2 years ago. You don't want to be fighting with the community. You don't want to have to be dealing with the sheriff to kick them out because now the house is under your name. Do your research. And another thing, buying a house is very tedious. Go to the area. Physically go. Make sure that you buying your house in an area where there's no tuck shops around. You don't want a lot of noise. There's no a place where there's alcohol being sold near your house. It's not too active, Make sure you see the area, and also make sure you get an electrician before you buy a house. Go to the house, especially when you have interest to buy. Before you close, go to the house, get you an electrician who's going to check the electricity, who's going to check the plumbing. Because they'll sell you the house and not say anything, and the next thing you know, you have 5,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 electricity bill to fix. After you've spent $1 million on this property, look at the cupboards, look at the toilet, look at every single thing. Don't just romanticize being a homeowner. Be very practical about it. So yeah, do your research. So that's the part about not having a house. I'm so happy that I've touched on that. I could actually make this a 3-point series, but you know that I'm a giver. So I'm going to give you the last one. No millions. In your 30s and no millions. Okay, so now we're going to talk about being in your 30s and not having the millions. The reason why you care is because you are a person that has ambition, and that's a good thing. You want financial freedom, and that's a good thing. You and I are both in the same page, in the same phase. So what is it that you are doing? What is your relationship with money look like? So what I've noticed is that money requires discipline, but also money requires generosity. I know, right? It's very strange, but if you notice, the people that are generous, they never run out of money. And I've noticed that The more I take care of my mom, myself, and the more I have a giving heart, I get given too. I get given too. That's just one principle. Now, what I've recently learned about money is that you need to be able to learn stewardship. ChatGPT will help you with this one. What is stewardship, ChatGPT? Stewardship is basically earning money and multiplying. So, how can we do that? The answer is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship takes the audacity. The difference between you and me and an entrepreneur is the audacity and the confidence. Speaking about entrepreneurship, below my video, I've got links for you guys to purchase hair extension and also a link that will actually help you to purchase Fenty beauty products. I have it on my shop profile. You can use my links below and it will actually help you save some money. So let's work together, because you guys know that I'm always in a weave, honey. So I will never sell you things that I personally do not use. I use Fenty foundation, and this is the reason why I have a link to their products, because I buy their products and their products work. So you want this look? Description box, my love. Description box. So back to what I was saying. Stewardship. What are you doing that could possibly steward money? Having policies is stewardship. Yeah, it's stewardship. Having opening financial policies is stewardship. Do you have an ongoing policy that is taking money outside of your bank account that is growing? Do you have money that is locked away by your bank that you cannot touch in X amount of years? That is investment. That is investment. Do you have money in stocks? That is investments. Do you have money in crypto? That is investment. I use crypto. I have a Luna account. I put money in there to buy cryptocurrency. You do not have to use Luno. There's plenty of other. Luno is powered by Standard Bank, but there's plenty of other platforms, Robinhood, that you can use. There's so many other platforms that you can use. And the nice thing about the F&B app, and in fact, I'm going to actually start investing with them, because the other ones, I'm a little bit confused with the one that I want to get internationally. I wanted to get one here internationally, but I don't know how to work it. So F&B also has Forex, how you can exchange there on their banking system. They also have it. That's stewardship. And I'm telling you these things because they're digital. It's all on your phone and anybody can do it. And the basics of investing, guys, this is what I do. I also have easy equities. The basic of that is that I see the stocks. I own stocks. I see the stocks and then I buy the stocks and then I hold the stocks. And then I let the market do whatever the market wants to do. It's the same 100 Rand that you are going to buy on nonsense. You might as well put that money into your investments. So that's what that's about. Invest your money. Invest your money. Buy your stocks. Buy your crypto. Let your money grow in your sleep. For me with crypto, the last time I checked, I think I put in, was it 2,000? But it was less than 3,000 that I put in crypto, if it was not 1.5. And then when I checked, it was 3,000. When I checked, it was 6,000. Imali nje ehlele isebenzelayo without me not having to lift a finger. Now, it might not be millions right now, but that money is teaching me financial discipline. It's teaching me to put money into those things that are growing for me. You know what I'm saying? So look at investing. Go talk to your bank. Open a Forex account. Get a broker if you don't know what to do. Or be like me, buy and hold. Buy and hold. I accumulate stocks now. I'm not a day trader. I don't even know what it means to day trade. I mean, I know what it means. You sit there and you watch the markets. I don't have time for that. Just sit there, watch the market, see how they behave. And also numbers are not really my thing like that. However, I look at my accounts, and if something is not, lucrative, I sell it and then I use the money to reinvest it in something else. For example, when it comes to my easy equity accounts, I'm invested in Woolworths, I'm invested in Clicks, I'm invested in Discam, I'm invested in there's another household one. I'm invested in Gold. I'm invested at Spur. These brands I know people are always going to, so I know that these investments are not a loss. They will always accumulate. Now, as much as I don't have multi-millions, but I've got assets in a sense, because these are assets that I could easily give off to my daughter. So the trick now is to just put more money into it, buy more, and hold. Economies are always going to be unpredictable because presidents change, their policies change, trade laws change. So it's very important, well, not important, but it's very telling that it will be up and down. If you buy when it's down and sell when it's on the come up, or sell when it's high, in fact, you make your profit. But I'm not there to sell right now. I'm there to just buy, accumulate. And then when things go south, I know I have my assets to run to. That is stewardship. Speaking of, I'm so glad I'm talking about this because now I'm inspired to put money into it. And thing is, you can even put 100 rands, 50 rands. Start. They made it so easy for you to invest nowadays that you can even invest 50 rands. Start, put your money into it, forget about it, and come check it out later. And that's how you get to the millions. And I'm working, right? I've got those, they in the back burner, they working, and I've got a policy with FNB, and I want to open like another policy. Yeah, because the reason why I need all these policies, I love money, guys. You can see, Wuti, I love money. I'm always talking about money. Because money buys me comfort. And money loves me too. Look how nice money looks on me. Money looks good on everybody, by the way. Everybody is meant to live in abundance. So right now, I'm in an era where I'm teaching myself the language of money. Every little article that says something about money, I pay attention because I'm wanting to understand money and how I can have a good relationship with money. I don't want to work forever. I really do not. But sometimes, as much as we look at things and we're like, oh, okay, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Sometimes maybe your destiny is not just the YouTube channel being the streamline of you being a multimillionaire, but maybe when now you are the type of person that needs to have different streams in order for you to be financially stable. Try them all. While you are alive and while you're earning, try them all. Because at least you can say, I've tried and I've failed and I know this is not for me. Which other way can I make money? That is entrepreneurship on its own. The fact that you actually have a crypto account, you are an entrepreneur. The fact that you have stocks, you're an entrepreneur. The fact that you're selling something, you're doing something, it's entrepreneurship. The fact that you wake up every day and you find ways of how am I going to make more money, even if it means getting another job. It's being an entrepreneur. You selling your time to an employer. It's entrepreneurship. And a lot of people don't tell us this because you not knowing benefits so many people, because you can easily work for me and I take your life force to make myself millions. Wouldn't you rather use your life force to make you millions? I'm off today, but I'm working. I'm putting together a video. I'm going to edit this video. I'm going to go check on my crypto. I'm going to put money in there. It's not millions, but it's something. It's called working. I'm constantly finding opportunities for money. And the thing is, about money. When I'm constantly open to money, making money with the money that I have, money will constantly be open to coming to me. That is the law of everything. What you give comes to you. What you give does not necessarily mean you're going to get it back. Sometimes you will give so much to people, but they're not willing to give back. That's a sign that is not your people, that is not your tribe. Move on. It's like a stock. If the stock is not performing, I put in money and I'm losing it, I sell. I sold a couple of stocks at easy equity because they were just like, it was just flushing money. I sold the money and then I used the money to add into my other stocks that made sense. It's the same when it comes to relationships. And when I'm saying relationships, I am including friendships as well. Treat it like stocks. You putting, there's no return in investment. Cut the ties. Cut the ties, move on. So guys, I've shared all my wisdom in this one video. I don't want to make a series, but if you want me to make a series and touch specifically on one topic out of the three, I will definitely do that for you. Do leave your comments down below. Tell me what it is that you want to share, because I'm an open book. I would like to learn from you too. I do not know everything, and I know you guys know a lot because you're smart superstars. Share with me your finance a guru ways of buying a home quicker than what I have touched on. Tell me what you know about life insurance and how we can be these financial baddies. We never want to have our backs out, okay? We always make sure the bills are paid and that we always looking slayed, period. And anything that you need to add on relationships, let me know down below. And yes, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I hope this video was insightful, because it was such a mouthful, but it was insightful for me too. And I hope we grow together, learn together, and become the highest versions of ourselves, because that's what God wants for you. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.